Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I will talk about Marvel games. I'm sorry, I'm still looking at the monitor. Marvel games and music sometimes when I get cool gigs. All right, so today we're going to talk about Daredevil Born Again. Spoilers, by the way. This is a spoiler review. If you don't want to get spoiled, then check your privilege, I guess. Daredevil Born Again, for those of you that don't know, is a continuation of the Netflix series called Daredevil. It got canceled back in 2018, and I was really sad about it. Anyways, so yes, Daredevil Born Again. It's good. It's really good, actually. I think it's fantastic. I think it's really, really well made. The characters feel authentic to their original part, but evolved in a way. They feel more. Dare I say they've been birthed again. I'll be here all night, folks. The biggest problem with Daredevil Born Again, right, is the question of, did it really work? You've seen the thumbnail. You all know the thumbnail. Did it work, though? I think it did. For what they had, God, I think it nails it. In Daredevil Born Again, Daredevil is faced with this giant challenge of killing Bullseye, or at least for like 2 seconds. Matt saying, fuck it, I'm not going to be Daredevil anymore. Yeah, he's done that like 4 times in universe, and it's so incredibly annoying when he does it every single time. Like, just be fucking Daredevil, please. Please, just be Daredevil. My favorite episodes by far were the first one. I loved episode 5, the bank heist episode. Just felt very comic booky, very like, you know what I mean? Like, wow, there's a bank heist and he doesn't have a super suit. Like, that would happen in real life. If I was a superhero and I went to the bank and I said, hey, Mr. Teller, can you give me money for my business venture of making a YouTube channel? And he said, obviously not. You're broke. Get a job. And then I go back in, but obviously I don't got my super suit on me because it's back at my place here. That just makes so much sense. Holy shit. Another thing, too, about Daredevil Born Again is I love the way that they reintroduce characters is so impactful. Obviously, there is a little bit of that, like, there's a little bit of a pause, and you're gonna clap and cheer for the hero that comes out. But like, they don't ever do that with anyone else, only for like 2 people. And they really only did it for the Punisher when he first came out, and Karen at the last episode. Every other character that returns just feels very natural, very, very connected, like if they were supposed to be here the entire time, which I absolutely love. I think it's so good that it feels connected. Speaking of connectivity, where the fuck were Spider-Man and everyone else for that matter? So for those, you already had your spoiler warning, so you shouldn't be surprised. But yeah, at the end of the series, Kingpin basically goes full Gotham, initiates martial law on New York. And it's insane because he does all this. And dude, you serious right now? You want to be in the review? Guys, this is Link. Link, say hi. That's all he had to say. Kingpin issues martial law in New York. He creates a blackout. There's panic in the streets and stuff, and people are going crazy, and there's looters, and he has this whole militia, and at times like this, he's like going after the vigilantes, and I'm like, where Where is Spider-Man? Cue the clip. Will they answer that in season 2? Absolutely not. But I do think that hopefully, I have faith, Marvel, I have faith that they'll answer it in Spider-Man for Brand New Day. Not over that name, by the way. I don't like that name, Marvel. Please. When you announced that name, it gave me flashbacks. It gave me whiplash to a time that I don't like. Marvel, please. I don't like that. Don't ever do that ever again. I'm speaking for me and all Spider-Man fans. Stop it. Okay, so yes, Daredevil. Am I in focus? I am in focus, right? Can you tell I'm kind of new to this, like doing this YouTube thing by myself? Anyways, yes, Daredevil Born Again. I think fantastic show. Fantastic show. One criticism though I will give out is Muse, which is unfortunate because I actually really like Muse. I think he's cool. I think Muse is a cool villain that does cool things. Stop it, bro. He's a cool villain that does cool things and has a cool design, and we don't really talk about Muse all that much. Wait, little ASMR. Yeah, Muse doesn't really do all that much in the show, which kind of sucks because I thought he was going to be the main villain of the show, and he kind of ended up. Fisk is always the main villain of these Daredevil shows, and or these, like, every single time Daredevil is anywhere, Fisk is always the main villain. And I know that Vincent D'Onofrio is a great guy and he's a great character and amazing work, and oh my god, but I was just really hoping that we would get a season where he wasn't the main villain, and you know, he kind of took a back seat compared to the main villain, which was going to be Muse. But they kind of, like, you know, that was a little disappointing. But I know in the comics he comes back. Muse in the comics dies, goes to hell, and then he made a deal with Mephisto. We'll get to that one. Made a deal with Mephisto and comes back in like kind of like as a, like, he like possesses a person, and then they become his muse, and then they become Muse, and they have like powers, and you know, they're kind of vague, but it basically allows Daredevil not to perceive them. So who knows? We'll see. If Midnight Suns ever happens, that movie's never gonna happen. If the Midnight Suns thing ever happens, then yeah. Am I mad that they killed Foggy? I liked Foggy. Eldon Henderson did a good job, and I definitely like R.I.P. Foggy. R.I.P. Foggy. But I mean, do I really care that they killed Foggy? I know it sounds insensitive, and it kind of is, but I just don't care as much as some other people do, and it's a little distracting to have Foggy there and not do anything. And I think it made sense why they killed him, and it makes it's okay. I'm okay with them killing Foggy this one time. What else do I like about Daredevil Born Again? I think for those this is one. For those of you who were expecting like the Defenders in Josie's Bar, you know, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I mean, if they're going to be part of the plot, they're going to be part of the plot, but like, they wouldn't just bring them in for like a little cameo at the end to tease like, oh, they're going to be, this is the army that was, this is the thing. I feel like it's kind of cheap if they did that. So I'm actually kind of glad that Daredevil didn't do that. I also thought, though, it was hilarious that he's like, we need an army to fight off Kingpin's, you know, militia, and then it's just 2 cops and a fucking bartender. Like Matt, I think you're gonna need more than 2 cops and a bartender to take them on. But Hey, man, we'll see. He wears that black suit. So I'm hoping that he gets cool. I'm hoping that there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in the second half. And for those of you that don't know, Daredevil Born Again went through a creative overhaul. So episodes 1, 8, and 9 were filmed and produced completely differently from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Apparently the show was completely different and they were doing something completely wrong with the character of Daredevil. They were making it more of a legal drama with Daredevil not being Daredevil until maybe like the 6th or 7th episode where he fights Muse. So yeah, not really all that compelling. I mean, granted, that does happen, but we see him be Daredevil in the first episode, and it kind of, they leave us hanging for 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then in episode 6, he becomes Daredevil again. So he puts on the suit again at 6, and then again in 7, and then again in 8, and again in 9. Well, I guess not in 8. He gets shot in 8. Speaking about episode 8, that episode, holy shit. Episode 8 is one of those episodes that I absolutely adore. I think it's incredible. I think episode 8 is so fun, from the look to the editing to like that one is the one that felt the most like Netflix Daredevil. And I don't think anyone's going to argue with me on that one, because I think honestly, just from the way that the intro starts with the blue rose, and it like spins and it pans out and it pans out and it pans out and it just keeps panning out until you see Poindexter. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. But I love film and I love seeing these things, and absolutely delighted when I saw that. I was like, and then just the lighting and just the way, and then oh my God, that shot at the end with Matt where they're at the dance and everyone's wearing their colors, and then he's on the floor and it's kind of like this inverted like Daredevil on top, and then like he's like kind of in the bottom though, and it's just, dude, so much style, so much aura, bro. So much aura that Marvel is pumping out with Daredevil right now, and I think it's super important that we have that, because we need to have that stuff that's like insanely important. If we don't have that aura, we don't have any of that goodness, then what's the point of anything? So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Born Again. I thought it was fantastic. Hopefully with season 2 we get some cool stuff. I'm excited for the Punisher. His story, his actual special is going to be coming out later next year, so excited for that. John Bernthal's writing it, so I trust. And speaking about the Punisher, I am so glad Marvel finally said something about the stupid Punisher skulls on police officers, bro. Like, oh my God. This has been a problem for years about police in real life, by the way, co-opting the Punisher symbol on their cars, on their vests, having it, on their guns, and like a display that they're like somehow the Punisher, or that they're doing like what they're doing God's work. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. And I think it's awful. We don't need to be glorifying these people. And I'm so glad Marvel finally decided to say something, because although Marvel Comics did say back in like, I don't know, it was a while ago, back in like 2015, I think, they talked about how they did it like a one issue, like one off, where Punisher finds these cops and they love him, and he basically says something along the lines of like, if you want a role model, there's Captain America. Like, I'm not, but like, come on, man. Like, ain't nobody read that. They don't read these things. Let's be real. So I'm so glad that he finally got addressed in this show. People saw it, and he said, you guys are fucking clowns. Like, I'm really impressed with the way that Marvel handled the similarities, I guess, to Wilson Fisk. Now, Let me say something. Let me say something that might piss people off. Wilson Fisk may or may not be resembling the actions of a certain individual. Last name rhymes with dump. I thought, oh wow, people in New York are so fucking stupid, electing Mayor Fisk to run New York when they know he's a criminal. Yeah. And I know that they were writing this well before um, all of that bullshit happened. So, and even just the way that like he addresses stuff and the way he talks about certain things, just like how the system doesn't work, he needs to just dismantle it. He needs to just take full reign and full control and stuff is kind of telling. Like, oh my god, that is literally what Trump does. That's like insane. That's like the same rhetoric. So the fact that they captured that in Mayor Fisk and kind of like made that kind of as part of his whole thing is a little insane. I think it's fun. It's fun. Not fun for us, but it's fun to see a fictional character do something like that because it reminds me of, at least they have Daredevil. We don't. But yeah, that was Daredevil Born Again. There's obviously some problems. I didn't really care much for Matt going through the same arc of depressed, I gotta be Daredevil again. Don't care about it, but if that had to happen, it had to happen. To the question of did it work? Yes, it did work. It worked for me. I know some people might disagree with me online, so drop your comments in the comments below. As of time of recording this, I also just finished watching Thunderbolts, so you'll see me in this same spot again, and I'm gonna have a different shirt on because I want the videos to not feel the same. So yes, guys, thank you for watching. This is my Daredevil Born Again review. Absolutely love the show. If you have stuff that you want me to review next, let me know. If you want this review in print, then you can read it on the newspaper because I wrote a review for my college newspaper. So anyways, guys, I'll see you sometime in the future, and stay groovy, and yeah.